You ever have those moments where everything feels off, but you can't explain why? Like you're doing what you're supposed to do, you show up, you get through the day, and still, none of it makes sense anymore? Life has a weird way of doing that. One day, things will feel clear, predictable, and almost automatic, and then suddenly, the rules you were playing by stop working. The motivation disappears, the excitement fades, and you're left staring at your own life thinking, what am I even doing? That confusion doesn't show up all at once. It creeps in quietly. You wake up tired, even after sleeping. Conversations feel empty, wins don't hit the way they used to. And the scariest part is, you can't point to one big problem. It's just this heavy feeling that something is wrong. When life stops making sense, most people panic. They try to distract themselves, stay busy, scroll more, work more, and talk less. They will do anything to avoid sitting with that feeling. But that feeling isn't random, it's a signal. It usually shows up when the life you're living no longer matches who you're becoming. And instead of seeing that as a breakdown, it helps to see it for what it really is. Turning point. Just think about it. If everything still made perfect sense, you'd probably keep doing the same things forever. Same habits, same patterns, same comfort zone. Confusion forces questions, and questions are dangerous in the best way. The problem is, confusion feels like failure. It feels like you're behind, like everyone else got a manual and you missed it. So you start comparing. You look around and think everyone else has it figured out while you're stuck in your own head. But here's the truth, nobody says out loud. Most people feel lost at least a few times in their life. Some just hide it better. Some are better at staying distracted. And some mistake being busy for being fulfilled. When life stops making sense, it's usually because you have outgrown an old version of yourself. Old goals, old definitions of success, old ways of thinking that once fit but don't anymore. And outgrowing something always feels uncomfortable. There is no celebration for it, no clear next step, just this awkward in between where the old doesn't work and the new hasn't shown up yet. That's the hardest place to be, because humans love clarity. We like labels, plans, timelines. When those disappear, anxiety fills with the gap. Your mind starts racing, trying to fix the feeling instead of understanding it. So you ask questions like, what's wrong with me? Or why can't I just be grateful? Or why am I not happy when everything looks fine? Those questions don't help, they turn confusion into self-blame. A better question would be, what is this feeling trying to tell me? Sometimes it's telling you that you have been living on autopilot for too long, doing things because you should, not because they mean anything to you anymore. Sometimes it's telling you that you have been shrinking yourself to fit a life that no longer fits. And sometimes it's telling you that you are standing at the edge of change, even if you can't see what's on the other side yet. The mistake people make is trying to rush past this phase. They want answers immediately, a clear direction, a sign. But clarity doesn't come from thinking harder, it comes from paying attention. Pay attention to what drains you now. Pay attention to what feels heavy. Pay attention to what you keep avoiding. Those are clues. When life makes sense, you don't question much. When it stops making sense, you're being invited to look deeper, not at the world, but at yourself. That's scary because it means letting go of certainty, letting go of identities you've held onto for years. The I am this kind of person stories, the this is just how life is beliefs, and letting go feels like losing control. But here's the quiet truth: confusion isn't the enemy, avoiding it is. The people who grow the most aren't the ones who never feel lost. They are the ones who don't run from the feeling when it shows up. They sit with it long enough to learn something from it. That doesn't mean isolating yourself or overthinking everything. It means slowing down instead of speeding up, listening instead of numbing. It means giving yourself permission to not have everything figured out. Because not knowing is honest. Pretending you know when you don't is exhausting. And exhaustion is often what people mistake for laziness or burnout. In reality, it's the weight of carrying a life that doesn't feel aligned anymore. When life stops making sense, it's not asking you to quit everything overnight. It's asking you to be honest about what isn't working, honest about what you're forcing, honest about what you're chasing out of habit, honest about what you're scared to admit you want something different. That honesty might hurt at first, but it also brings relief. Because once you name the problem, it stops controlling you from the shadows. You don't need a 5 year plan right now, you don't need a perfect answer, you just need to take one small step toward alignment. That might look like saying no when you normally say yes, spending time alone without distractions, trying something new without turning it into a life decision, letting yourself rest without guilt. Small actions done with awareness bring clarity faster than endless thinking ever will. And slowly things start to make sense again. Not because life got easier, but because you are more connected to yourself. You start recognizing what matters and what doesn't. You stop chasing noise, you trust your instincts a little more, and one day you look back and realize that confusing phase wasn't a dead end, it was a bridge. A bridge between who you were and who you're becoming. So, if life feels strange right now, if things feel blurry or heavy or directionless, don't assume something is wrong with you. It might be a sign that something is finally changing. And if you want to understand that change on a deeper level, watch the next video on your screen.